Why do we let other people affect us so much? I think a lot of the times we try to contain how we're feeling, but how we're feeling is just building up on the inside. And the more that we let it build up on the inside, eventually the cap is gonna burst and we're gonna either cry, do something that we're gonna regret, we're gonna do things that we don't exactly intend on doing initially, but we end up doing just because we ended up bottling up how we felt instead of just expressing it. First things first, we have to express how we feel, and I have to express how I feel to you guys, and you guys are the people, and the few viewers that I have, you guys are the people who actually watch me and actually make me feel like I'm not always alone and like I'm actually here for a reason. So thank you if you're watching this. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. And what I can say is, until you express how you're feeling on the inside, you're always going to feel upset and you're always going to feel this overwhelming feeling of, like you're not good enough. And I feel like that feeling of being not good enough replays in my head very, very, very frequently throughout the day. I always feel like I have to, live up to these expectations and live up to these, I guess, expectations that I put on myself and expectations that other people have put onto me. I would say that my family has put certain expectations onto how I should be, and saying that I should be getting certain grades, or saying that I should be in the house at a certain time because it makes them feel better. What I have to always remember is, although something may make somebody else feel good, what is it doing to me in the end? You can't let other people affect you, and you can't let other people get you angry. This is another thing that I have to remember. I won't even be too specific, but there are people around me in my life who sometimes I do let get to me, and I always get really, really absorbed in it, and then I forget that whatever angers you controls you. So if somebody's bothering you, right? Like if somebody's bothering you and somebody else's energy is really getting on your nerves and somebody else is really upsetting you, you have to remember that whatever angers you controls you. So if somebody is angering you and somebody is getting you upset, or somebody's making you feel like really bad about yourself, every single time that you think about somebody, it gets you angry or it gets you upset. You have to remember, whatever gets you, whatever upsets you, whatever angers you, controls you. If somebody is getting you to feel some type of way, you have to realize that there's still something that you need to learn from that person, whether you like that person or not, whether that person makes you feel good or not, whether that person is contributing positive vibes into your life or not. You have to remember that you need to still learn something from that person, and there's still something that you can learn from the people. Wow, there's a lot of loud vehicles today. There's still something that you can learn from people that upset you. There's still something that you can learn from people that bother you. There's still something that you can learn from people that anger you. And you can't let them get to you. It's not easy to not let them get to you, but you don't want to let them get to you, because whatever energy that you are thinking about the most, whatever you're thinking about the most, will consume you. So let's just say I'm thinking about somebody that's, really getting on my nerves, or somebody that's really bothering me, or somebody that's making me feel like really uncomfortable with myself. I'm paying attention to them. Why am I giving them money? Now you may think what do you mean giving them money? But it's okay, if I'm thinking about somebody and I'm really just really, really contained and thinking about them, I'm paying attention to them. I'm paying them attention. Why am I giving them something that I don't want to give them? So when somebody bothers you, or somebody gets on your nerves, or thinking about somebody's energy, or thinking about how somebody is being really just gets within you and makes you feel uncomfortable, don't pay them any mind. Don't pay them any attention. Only give attention to what makes you feel good. Only give attention to what makes you feel positive. Only give attention to what makes you happy. Our minds allow us to go into loops sometimes. And actually, I should correct that. We allow our minds to go into a loop. We allow ourselves to overthink sometimes. And overthinking is not easy. Our thoughts really can get us upset, but we have to focus on the thoughts that actually make us feel good. Whatever you focus on grows. If you're focused on negative feelings, if you're focused on negative vibes, you're going to be consumed in them. Now, as I said that, I almost thought about it okay, you can't exactly ignore the things that bother you either. You can't ignore them, because eventually they're going to be thrown right into your face and you're going to have to deal with them either way. So I guess how to deal with them is you have to express how you're feeling, let it out, but once you let it out, you have to let it go and move on. You can't let it consume you. People and toxic people are going to be in your life, regardless of if you want them to or not. Because there is way too many people in the world to avoid every single person that may get under your skin in some way. But if somebody gets under your skin, if somebody makes you feel uncomfortable, if somebody makes you feel anxious, if somebody makes you feel anything that isn't a good feeling, all that means is that there's something that you still haven't learned yet in your life about yourself. And once you learn that thing about yourself, it's going to just change how you feel about yourself. It's going to change everything in your life, because we still have things to learn from the people who bother us. We still have things to learn from energy that is around us. We still have things to learn from things that are not us. And every single day, whether we like it or not, there's something to learn. There's something that we should be learning from every experience, from every person, and from everything in our lives. If we're ignoring that lesson that we're supposed to be learning from the things that are happening to us, and if we're ignoring the thing that is right in front of us, it's just going to be constantly pushed onto us until it hurts and until it bothers us. So I guess the lesson that I have to teach myself today, and what I have to learn from today, is that I cannot let people's energy get into mine. I cannot let other people's demons enter my realm. I cannot let other people's energy bother me and make me feel upset and uncomfortable. For example, let's just say you're in a relationship with somebody and that person isn't feeling good and that person is really, really upset. You can help that person, but only to a certain extent, because sometimes when you help other people who have bad energy, and I can't even say that it's their fault all the time, but when you help certain people who are feeling down or feeling negative, if there is a point where they're just in that cycle and in that loop and they can't get themselves out and you're trying your hardest to help, that's when you may need to step away from that person. You don't have to break up with them. You don't have to not be friends with them, but you may have to step away to take care of yourself, because some people are energy vampires, like they'll suck all of the energy out of you to feel better and to make themselves feel good. Unconsciously, they'll suck the energy out of you because they're not feeling good. All of a sudden they feel better and now you feel drained. Now you feel like you just ran a marathon. We don't realize that a lot of the times we do this to ourselves. We allow other people's energy to consume ours, and then they move on with their lives. But then we have to move on with our lives. So how does it make us feel? How does it make us feel? Do not let other people's energy affect yours. Do not absorb other people's energy, and always be cognizant of how you're speaking to yourself and what you're thinking about, and how you are addressing your thoughts that are in your head. Are you expressing how you feel? Are you letting them out? Are you talking to somebody about how you feel? What are you doing to clear your mind and come to your senses? What are you doing to clear your mind and come to your senses? How are you allowing yourself to move forward in your life in a positive way? Even if you don't feel positive or don't feel great, that's okay. But accepting that and accepting how you feel in the moment right now, how I've been discussing this for a little bit, but how you feel right now is the only thing that you can control. So if you want to change that feeling, address what's going on in your head, address how you feel on the inside, and then everything on the outside will reflect how you're feeling on the inside. Address what's going on inside so you can change what you see. Address what's going on the inside so you can change how you feel. Address what's going on the inside so the people around you can no longer affect you. Don't let other people's energy affect yours. Don't let how people feel about you and how people feel about you affect you. I think that's another video that I probably should make too, like how people feel about you and how not to let how people feel about you control you. I have to remember too, how people feel about you is none of your business. What people think about you is none of your business. And it's really annoying when you have to keep living your life sometimes around the people who bother you. But what people think of you is their problem, not yours. You can't let how people feel about you and what people think about you affect you, because at the end of the day, what people think of you, it really doesn't matter. What you think of you matters. Your perception of yourself is always going to be stronger than the perception others have of you. So if what people think of you gets you upset about yourself, remember, you're allowing that and you're allowing their opinions and how they feel to affect how you feel about yourself. You don't have to do that. You can always change how you feel about yourself. You can always change your perspective about yourself. But it's your choice and it's up to you to do it. It's Will Armani. Hope everybody has a great rest of their day.